Arkansas plays A&M this Saturday at 3:30 on ESPN. It's the game in Arlington out there. And Whomst is going to start at quarterback for A&M. That is a big topic of conversation right now. Connor Wegman still seems doubtful to me. From everything I can hear and I can read, he seems doubtful to me still. Therefore, Marcel Reed, who went and won the game at Florida, I think is going to be the starter in this game. And so that's the A&M side. Over on the Arkansas side, there's this sneaky momentum that they're starting to build. I got roasted unfairly over on the Arkansas board. Trey Biddy just left the door open and a bunch of trolls wandered in and started torching us because they didn't think we focused on Arkansas enough in the game recap the other day. Well, at the very least, I would argue that, but I do get your point. So let's talk about Arkansas here, because you're 1-11 in the last 12 against this team. So we're going to have to do some stuff that we haven't done in a while here. Arkansas seems to have found itself offensively. Okay, that's the good news. Bobby Petrino has rode into town, and they have found themselves offensively. We got some paper popper stats here. They are 16th in rush yards per game. They got 17 rush touchdowns already. That's second in the country. They got 50 passes of 10-plus yards. That's 11th in the country. So there is, unlike some of these other teams we're talking about, not a whole lot of guessing about what Arkansas is. So if I'm A&M, I better be ready to tackle well, because A&M right now is 82nd in yards per rush allowed. Not great if I'm about to face Arkansas. Arkansas is the number one team in the country in tackles avoided on rushes. So it is hard to bring them down. Jaquindon Jackson is a load. He's been hard to bring down. At quarterback, I mean, Arkansas has been hard to bring down. So the explosive run threat is there. A&M's allowed 6 rushes of 20-plus yards. It's how they lost the Notre Dame game. It wasn't a track meet, but a couple of explosives. It's kind of like the way Michigan beat USC. Takes a couple of those explosive runs, and especially when you've got that threat at the quarterback position, it's always there. It's ever present as a threat. A&M's got to win this game, and I think that they've got a couple of options here. The first one is just win strength on strength. So you run it, and you're 8th in rush yards per game, and Arkansas's defense is 14th, so they feel good about the ability to stop the run, but your strength just matches and exceeds their strength. And that's a great feeling when you can do that. So that's one possibility. I'm sure they explore that. But number 2 is Marcel Reed at quarterback just has a big day throwing the ball. The profile of Arkansas, especially the secondary, is there are plays to be had there. A&M's got one receiver, though, so far, over 100 yards. So, I mean, Marcel Reed also 56% passer, although there's barely any stat profile about him right now. So if he just has a big day throwing the ball, if A&M has some guys step up, Arkansas is 98th in the country in pass yards per game allowed. So the plays are there to be had. Are you the team that can make them? Turnovers and mistakes cost Arkansas against Oklahoma State. Turnovers and mistakes cost A&M against Notre Dame. So they've each had a game this year where they looked afterwards and they said, there are some correctable things here. There's some self-inflicted wounds here, not the least of which was giving the ball to the other team. And if we just clean that up. All right, well, you each have an opportunity this weekend out there in Arlington, Texas. Colin, what does the model say? FanDuel right now has Texas A&M. It's a neutral site game. Texas A&M is a 3.5-point favorite. The model has A&M as a 4.5-point favorite. What I'm thinking here is I love what Arkansas did last week. However, a lot of it was predicated result-wise off turnover. So if I get that again, Arkansas is going to win this game. But if I don't get that, and I don't think it's predictive, so if I don't get that and it's a straight-up game, I think there's enough life that's been injected here with Marcel Reed that I actually think A&M can win this game and cover it. Better talent profile, although, Bowling Green was close with them. They lost to Notre Dame. They had a better talent profile than both those teams. So they haven't played up to that talent profile necessarily, but good vibes coming out of the Florida game, and there's a chance to get the season restarted here. And restarted behind Marcel Reed, and then we'll make a decision when Connor Wegman comes back, if indeed he comes back later. I think it's Marcel Reed's game this week, and I think A&M's going to find a way to win and cover.